Hi guys, my name is Megan and I am an intuitive empath and energy healer. So I'm going to pull a message from this deck to see who wants to come forward to share some wisdom or guidance for humanity at this time. Okay. So we have Melchizedek. Higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. So I was getting some intense energy, not only from the eclipse that we're embarking upon on I believe it's the 15th or the 16th of May that the lunar eclipse is happening, but we are in Mercury retrograde, so there's a lot of intense energies going around, and I was called to come on here and just see what wanted to come through for guidance for us today. So I want to pull a message from the book on Melchizedek to see what further messages are coming through, because I feel that there's an important message. So I'm going to let that sit there while I read from the book. Melchizedek is a high priest who is mentioned in the Bible's book of Genesis and many other sources too. He is here to assist the earth through the ascension process, which is basically moving everyone and everything back to a state of love and harmony. He appears with bright light around him and a long white beard to match his ancient high priest ways, and is said to have his own order of light-filled priests who are able to help spiritual people develop their gifts and qualities. As he works on a high energetic level, we can connect with him through sacred geometry and by focusing on ancient star-shaped symbols. The extended message says, "You have learned so much to this point and are learning more every day. You are recognizing all the great lessons your experiences and challenges have brought to you and are preparing you for a transition or inner ascension where you will move beyond another level of fear and into the inner sanctum of your heart and soul. Become aware of patterns, ancient symbols, and signs being sent to you from the universe. There is a sense that you are now able to focus in a new way and offer greater light to the world. Melchizedek and his order are with you now, leading you towards spiritual wisdom. Meditate and connect with their light." I want to do a tarot spread to see what Spirit has message-wise to go in line with what Melchizedek is saying. So I do feel Melchizedek is going to be the one transmitting this message that we pull through, because I am feeling some intense energy, so I want to see if they can give us guidance. Spirit, please guide us on what is coming for humanity. What do we need to hear at this time? Oh my gosh, they're telling me to flip the cards because I pulled everything upside down. So hang on. I didn't realize my deck was upside down when I started. So this is the past energy. This is the Two of Pentacles. So this is in relation to our past energy of humanity, which is about weighing many options, having too many choices, multitasking, a lot of decision making, a lot of indecisive energies. And then the present energy is this row right here. So here's our present, the Devil, which we all know that's not a good energy. Addiction, greed, materialism, obsession, fear, being chained to our thoughts, our negative habits, not able to see out of the darkness. And then we have the Fool, which is about new beginnings, having hope, taking chances, embarking on new paths, adventures. So this is the present energy for humanity. And then we have the Lover's card, which is about, this can sometimes be karmic lessons or karmic cycles in our life. It can also be about partnerships coming in, deep love, a choice between, you know, there could be a choice between partners here, something you're deciding between for love. And it could also be the strength of two people together. So I feel that the present message is for humanity to, let me see if I can move this down a little bit. So the present message here is for humanity to get out of these darker thoughts, to get out of this lower vibrational energy, to see the hope, to see the fresh new beginnings that are trying to come in, and realizing that we have the power together. It's like we have to, as humanity is going through the challenges on Earth, we have to come together and help each other out. We have to be there for one another during these challenging times and for what's coming ahead. I do feel that there is going to be some more challenges ahead, and we can pull some cards on that in a moment. But let's see here. And then we have that was the present energy. And now we have the future energy, which is about, it's the Hermit. So the Hermit is about going within, getting clarity, meditation, a quest for personal truth, seeking truth. I feel humanity is trying to seek truth or spiritual illumination at this time, trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. What is this all about? Why are we here? Why do we have to go through this pain? What is the purpose? What is the point? It's all of us going through this spiritual awakening, if you will, to get to a higher understanding of what our soul mission is, why we're here, what we're going through at this time, why is this happening. So I feel, getting out of these, it's also playing into this, like the negative thoughts from this devil here is playing into our spiritual awakening. It's like the challenges we go through is causing these spiritual awakenings to happen. And then we have the Star card, which can be about healing. It can also be about renewed hope. This is also about inner clarity, having faith in miracles, having faith in general. It's like she's tapping into the healing water. She's realizing the stars, and I always feel like the stars in this card are representative of our galactic friends, our galactic helpers in the sky, off-worlders, extraterrestrials, if you will, who are like Pleiadians, Arcturians, who are helping us heal the planet as well. And it's like a lot of us are starseeds who have come to the planet, and we are healing the planet with our frequency, with our energy. And I feel that more people are going to be in the future awakening to the fact that they are a starseed or, a spiritual being that has come to heal the planet at this time, to pull humanity out of this darker, lower vibrational energy and give them hope again, to seed in hope. It's like we're planting the seeds. I consider myself a light worker, a light warrior, a star seed. And so it's like our frequency, as we ascend, as we awaken into higher frequencies, we are healing the planet one individual at a time. And it's about, coming together and realizing that we do this together. We don't do this alone. It's all in the power of helping each other. And we are learning at this time on this planet how we don't do a selfish thing anymore. It's like humanity was run for eons based on self-service rather than service to humanity. It was like service to self. And we are healing those wounds and those traumas within that caused us to be selfish or go in our ego, and to go through this collective trauma, if you will, to get back to the realization that we need to be there for each other and we need to have love. At the end of the day, this card is about love. And Spirit is putting in the message right now that we have incarnated and come here to learn how to love and to help each other and to have compassion for each other and to have faith no matter what challenges we go through, we grow through them. So no matter what challenges, no matter what darkness, it's about still, you know, releasing the, look at the people on both of these cards, right? It's like service to self, service to humanity. Look at the difference in energy. You shackle yourself to this darker energy when you are egoic, when you are selfish, when you are only about yourself, only care about yourself, versus the healing energy that comes from doing it together and being there for each other and helping uplift each other through these challenging times. So, you know, if there are food shortages in the future, which I do feel there could be more of, it's about how are you going to handle that situation? Are you going to go into this egoic, you know, selfish mode about like maybe you have a little bit more to share and you're going to go into this ego mode of not sharing when people are in need, and you could offer, you know, to give extra supplies if you have it? Or are you going to go into service to humanity and be like, you know what, I believe and I have faith that, you know, God and the universe has our back, and I'm going to offer a helping hand if I am called to do so, rather than turn my back on those who are suffering or turn my back on those who I could possibly potentially help. And then we have the Hangman. This is about sometimes going into pause, going and seeing things from a higher light, a higher perspective, coming to a bird's eye view perspective is the way I always envision this card. It's also about like, you know, higher wisdom and self-sacrifice. It's about, you know, how are you going to help? How can you help? What can you sacrifice to help humanity? Is it giving your energy? Is it giving your time? Is it, you know, working on your own self wounds and going and doing the shadow work to heal yourself so that you can, you know, then step into your healing abilities and awakening and, you know, come to a higher knowledge and wisdom within yourself of how you can give back, how you can help, and what your purpose and your mission here is. Ultimately, our mission here is how to love each other and how to love regardless of the lower vibrational energies we face through each other or the reflections of the wounds and the traumas that we projected each other. It's ultimately coming back to the love. And the Hangman is all about that wisdom of seeing things from a higher light in a different perspective. So that's what message wanted to come through. So it's about, are you going to go into the darker energy, or are you going to go to the lighter energy of like, you know, what are you going to do when push comes to shove, when times get harder, which they are going to. I feel they are going to get a little bit harder, and that's not to scare you, that's to prepare you for what is potentially on the horizon. So it's about, you know, doing the due diligence now, going in, getting clarity from spirit. What do you need to do to prepare for, you know, what's coming? You know, do you have supplies for your family, for yourself? Do you have an emergency plan in case of a natural disaster? Do you have, you know, enough of your own energy that you could maybe give to other people in need of upliftment or support when it comes time for that support to be needed? You know, it's about going within and really seeing things from a different perspective. So that's the message there. And let's see if we can get any insight as to, because I know a lot of people are worried about a lot of things right now. So let's see, Spirit, can you give us an idea of, are there going to be, I'm feeling like food shortages and power outages for this year. What do you have to say for us? Will there be food shortages and power outages more this year? Or an event, as we say. Yeah, okay, so whenever you get an ace in a reading, you guys, that's a yes. So that's a definite yes to this energy that I just asked about. And that's why that message wanted to come through before. All right, let's see here. Yeah. Wait, do I have my deck upside down again? I do. All right. Sorry about that, guys. My deck was upside down. Okay. So yes, food shortages, yes, power outages, yes, there's going to be some events that we are going to need to be prepared for. So think of it like if you're going on a 2-week camping trip, what would you need for a camping trip? This is not to scare you. This is to prepare you for, be prepared. Spirit's saying be prepared for anything that can come your way, but know that you are always protected and always guided, and there will always be enough for you. You just have to do your due diligence of, taking plan or putting a plan to action, right? So you and your family, like, do we have supplies for 2 weeks in case of an emergency, in case of, it's always good to have a plan of action in case of a natural disaster or what have you. So it's just about being prepared and having a plan so that you don't stress when something happens. You have a plan of like, okay, this is what we're going to do and it's going to be fine. So we have in the present energy of this, we have 9 of Wands. This is about boundaries. This is also about like protecting what you have earned, or, like he's collected all these wands and he's like guarding and protecting what's his. So I feel, again, this is kind of like that stingy energy that Spirit touched on a moment ago. So it's about not being stingy, but like, not hoarding. So don't go out there and hoard is what this is feeling like. But, just have your whereabouts up. Sorry guys, my camera battery overheated, and weird stuff like that always happens when I do readings. When I do high energy, it just happens. So going back to this card, this is about, not going into hoarding energy, but, just making sure you have boundaries set and guarding and protecting what's yours. And, it's also about just having resilience and pushing through any difficulties, having the motivation to face these difficulties with grace and not fear. It's about knowing that you're going to be okay as long as you have a plan. And then we have the Knight of Wands, which the Knight of Wands is about going after something, having creativity. He's very passionate. He's kind of lusty here, having charisma, and, just taking inspired action. So it's about, having a plan and taking inspired action here. And then the Four of Swords, this is the current energy regarding the situation. So this is about, after you kind of prepare and you've done the work, now it's about just going into deep rest, solitude mode, and not letting the energy, the fear, all of that burn you out. It's about just kind of healing from the burnout energies of, the stress of it all. So just knowing that everything's going to be okay, you can rest and just take it easy, and just, you have a plan and it'll be okay. So this Tower card is definitely showing also a yes to an event coming or an event happening, which, if you are familiar with this is just an unwanted change, the rug being pulled out from underneath you, just a very disruptive energy here. And we are asking about world events, so that's a yes to that happening for sure, that the Tower came out. So it's also about your beliefs are being changed with this too. So it's like your perspectives, your energy, you'll have a new awareness, new perspectives after the destruction of whatever comes. And it leads us into newer paths, newer beginnings, better energy. The Page of Wands is always about better energy, or, new creative ideas, moving into new territory, new waters. And the Empress here, this is about birthing in, a new energy. I feel that this Tower moment, so to speak, is about birthing in new earth, basically. It's also about birthing in the divine feminine, because our world has been so operating in divine masculine. So it's like Spirit had to, you know, work on the energy some way, somehow. And sometimes things happen energetically to shift things and get us into a different mindset so that we can bring about newer energy. And it's about this divine feminine energy, I feel, is kind of going back to that Lovers card we had in the other reading, where we are coming to our more nurturing abilities. We are getting out of this, like, you know, egoic, all about me kind of energy, and getting back to abundance with knowing that we have enough for everybody. And I know that's so cliche to say, but it's really true. If you do believe that you have enough, you will. If you believe that you don't have enough, that will be your reality as well. So what you believe, you will perceive of that. So it's about, you know, reminding yourself of the goodness, of the abundance, of the unconditional love that Spirit has for us, and that we should ultimately have for humanity and ourselves at this time. And knowing that after this Tower moment, after we go through these challenges on this planet, we are walking into better territory. We are walking into new beginnings that are, you know, all about this abundance and healing. And she's very healing and nurturing. So it's like we are going to go birth in this healing energy, this divine feminine energy after this, whatever these events are that are coming. Let's see if we have anything else. Yeah, we have Page of Swords. So Page of Swords is about, you know, the truth coming out. So we're going to start seeing a lot of truths about maybe certain things that we thought were, like, I'm just intuitively feeling, they're telling me, like, you know, with our politics and our religions and all of these things, we're going to start hearing and seeing news come out about certain things that's going to shift and change our perspective. And that's also another Tower moment that could take place. So, you know, it's just, again, just going into this rest energy and knowing that everything's going to be okay. Don't have fear. Don't let that devil take you down. Don't let him shackle you with those fearful thoughts. And just remember this abundance that's coming in. You know, Spirit is offering something to us. We are birthing in a new age on this planet. So newer beginnings are happening. And to get to new, you have to break down and shake up the old, right? The old has to collapse. The old ways have to crumble. They have to be removed in order for us to birth in this new energy that we so desperately need, this healing energy that's better for humanity, this divine feminine energy that's been suppressed. And yeah, it's about generosity, guys. We need to get back into our generous ways, and also thinking about our past and what made you happy as a child. Really call that energy in now and start, you know, working with that energy about envisioning a future that would make you happy, and start feeling the emotions of the happiness you had as a child or the memories you had, so you can pull that energy into the now to create with the future visions you have, because it's all about manifesting. It's all about the visions you have and the energy you hold with those visions. So it's all about us being generous and giving back to ourselves through each other. You know, when you give to one, you give to yourself. So we need to be generous. We need to be nurturing. We need to be kind to each other. We need to give back to each other and not be selfish, because those that are selfish, I'm hearing, are going to have a bigger Tower moment than those that are generous. So those are the messages I had for you guys. I hope this helped. I hope it gave some peace, and my intention was to give some upliftment, some hope, some enlightenment. And Melchizedek's final message here is to remember who you are, and remember that God has a plan, the universe has a plan, and this is all divinely guided. So don't doubt for 1 second that they've forgotten about us. They're working behind the scenes very, very strongly with our energy to help support us at this time. So those are the messages I have. I'm sending you lots of love and light. Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you in another video. Bye, guys.